Let's rock it, girl.
Hey everybody, it's Delilah Cordova. I am here again for another awesome author interview. Yay! And today I have with me Cristina Smith, and she is the author of The Word Search Oracle, Yoga for the Brain. So I want you guys to know that we're going to be talking about Christina's awesome author life, her awesome book, and probably more, as she has also offered you guys a free gift. So stay tuned to learn how to get it. Now, for those who are looking to have an interview done and to share audiences with an influencer like myself, make sure to go to marketingandcoffee.com and apply to be on my show, as I am still, this is interview number 95. So I have 5 interviews left to go to 100. So if you want to be one of those special authors within Delilah's 100, go ahead and go to marketingandcoffee.com and get on the list. Now, without further ado, Cristina Smith, go ahead and tell them about you and your awesome book.
Hi, Delilah. Well, thank you so much for having me here. Wow, I'm number 95. You are rocking it, girl.
I know.
Well, you wanted to hear my story, so I will just go ahead and tell it, because it's kind of fun. You know, stories are kind of fun. So it all started one day when I was heading to visit my brother Rick in Colorado. I was at the airport, and I was a frequent flyer, and as I was in the security line, I realized that I had read everything on my iPad. I was just getting there in time, so I got on the airplane without downloading anything else. And as I was sitting there at 30,000 feet, I looked at the magazine. And in the magazine, it looked like I'd read the whole thing a couple weeks earlier. So I was desperate. I was bored. So I did the crossword puzzle, and then in true desperation, I looked at the Sudoku puzzles. Ew, yuck. That's what I thought. I don't do Sudoku. That's too much like math. But then I remembered reading somewhere that Sudoku is supposed to be good for your brain and help you get more nimble in your brain. I go, okay, I'll give it a try. So there at 30,000 feet, I'm sitting there with the easiest Sudoku puzzle thinking, I'm going to be really terrible at this. And you know what? I was really bad at it. And I thought, but I kept trying. And then I got off the airplane, and my math genius, game designer, retired technologist brother Rick picked me up at the airport to go to his house, and I asked him if he was good at Sudoku. He says, of course he was. And when we got over the course of our holiday visit, he downloaded some easy puzzles for me, and I tried them, and I wasn't any better on the ground as I was in the air. But anyway, we had a visit. I headed back to the airport, and as I was going through the security line, I made a decision that changed my life. I decided that I was going to teach myself how to do Sudoku, because, you know, it's supposed to be good for you, so why not learn it? So I didn't chicken out. What I did is I marched straight to the airport bookstore and bought a book of the 300 easiest Sudoku puzzles I could find. I figured 300 puzzles, that's enough to give me room for flat-out failure in the learning curve. Well, after those 300 puzzles, it certainly did that and more. What was trippy was, you know, some of them were utter bliss, others were utter failures. But as I was doing them, this deeply spiritual information started to pop up into my head as I was doing the puzzles. And I'm going, wow. So I started writing it down next to the puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
And then I finished the book. And as I realized later that Sudoku wasn't as puzzling as I thought, I'm a long-time meditator and do yoga and stuff. I realized that Sudoku can be a path to deepen your spiritual practice and mindfulness, just like anything else. What an aha moment. It was really bizarre, because who would have thought Sudoku was like that? So I got really excited, and I called my brother Rick, and I said, guess what? I want to do a Sudoku book. Want to make some puzzles? He was just quiet guy, totally shocked him. But after a few minutes, he says, okay. So as I started doing more research into why the brain works that way and why it loves puzzles and how it makes your brain better, I realized that doing Sudoku and other puzzles are kind of a yoga for the brain, because it turns out that the best way to keep your brain or improve your brain function and fitness is to entertain and maintain it.
Right.
Because you know what? Brains just want to have fun. It's true. So that started the first book, which is that's your book. This first book is the Tao Sudoku Yoga for the Brain, with my brother Rick as the puzzle master, and in it are the puzzles he created. Plus, at the bottom of each puzzle is one of the quotes, either a quote from somebody like Lao Tzu or Joseph Campbell or somebody, or one of the quotes that came to me while I was playing with them. And then in between the chapters, there are short articles on stuff like the origin of Sudoku and what Sudoku is about and how we use it in life and how puzzles help our brains. It's really fun. So
yeah.
if you don't know how to do Sudoku, this book is for you, because I didn't know how to do it, and it's pretty much my journey and a lot of fun.
You know what? One of my number one books that I do buy is a Sudoku. I have I buy Sudoku and I buy word cross, because I like to read, but when I'm like traveling or doing something, like I love to sit down with the Sudoku book and just zone out.
You have fun?
I really do.
Yeah, now I for relaxing. And my brother Rick does slightly harder puzzles, but I'm almost up to par with him, so I'm like okay with that. So this book went on to win like 7 literary awards. And then the next 2 books I did with my co-authors, they're word search books, the Word Search Oracle and the Word Search Sage. And in them, it's the same kind of format with text in between every 10 puzzles. It's really interesting. And each of the puzzles has like a short reading, like an oracle message or a meta thought message. And so you find all the words, and what's really cool is after you've found all the words, what remains is a hidden message with the remaining letters. So it's really fun too.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
That's what's going on with the books.
Nice. I love it. And we got a lot of people popping in and out. If you guys are catching the just now tuning in and you have questions for the author, go ahead and leave them below. And as we said, you got to stick around to learn how to get the free that she's offering you guys today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So with that being said, so the book, the Word Search Oracle Yoga for the Brain, which was the one that you just showed, right?
Yep, that's this one. Word Search Oracle for the Brain.
And that's the third one in in your series.
That's the second one. This is with Doherty Wesley. And then the third one, the one most recent, is called the Word Search Sage Yoga for the Brain with Ingrid Coffin. And the fourth one is coming soon. I'm very excited. And it's it's going to be called Animal Wisdom Word Search.
Nice. Would you consider doing one around the law of attraction theme? I think that would be nice. That positive law of attraction.
Well, the Word Search Oracle has a lot of oracle messages and talks about how to access your intuition a lot. And the meta thought, the Word Search Sage, is more about how to bring magic and mysticism intentionally into your life. So I think a law of attraction one would be amazing. So if anybody's who's a law of attraction author, keep me in mind. Hit me up.
I got a few for you. And the reason I say that is probably you don't know, my number one client is Michael Ogier, and he wrote the Law of Attraction.
Cool.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I might know someone.
Yeah, I think the Law of Attraction one would be great. So the animal one is kind of fun because the animal communicator has talked to not only dogs and cats, but she's talked to parks and animals in the wild. So the message that she's bringing are from animals around the world that are fascinating. So it's really interesting to get the animal's perspective on life.
Yeah, it is. And then you would never think that they had too many of a perspective because we don't look at them. Majority of people look at animals or human beings look at animals as things rather than living creatures.
Right.
So to give them a platform a little bit to show that they're more than just things, it's really nice.
Yeah. Well, having an animal companion is one of the greatest blessings of all, right?
Yes, it is. So speaking of that, what would you choose as your own mascot or spirit animal?
Well, I've had a number of animals that have chosen me through the course of the years, but the animal mascot I'm working with the most right now is the owl, and that's the mascot we've chosen as our animal symbol for the Animal Wisdom word search. Each of my has some kind of a sacred symbol on the cover. So, Rick and I Rick is a book designer too, so he designs the covers. So that's the one we came up with for this one here.
Right.
But I've enjoyed working with hawks and dragonflies and all kinds of other animals over the course of my time as a spiritual being.
That's so awesome. So then, as you're making these books, as I'm trying to the out. It's hard to say because this is not like a fiction or a nonfiction. This is like something else of a book.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to wrap my mind around how a book like this would come about. Like, how do you make puzzles? Like, do you just?
I will tell you that I don't know, but I know that Rick knows. Rick is someone who loves to create games, and when I talked to him, I asked him, so how do you create it? He really has fun figuring out the computer programs. I mean, you can get programs that'll make games for you, but the ones that he makes are much more complicated because, like to have the hidden message and everything with the word search, it really takes a lot of tinkering to get it to work right. So his idea of fun, because he's really a math nerd, is to figure out how to adapt or create the program that'll make it happen. So he makes the games, my co-author or I create the puzzle text messages next to the word search, and then we work with our editor to put it into puzzle voice because it's a little different than how you would normally write stuff. And then so we all work together on the puzzles, and then I write the text in between the puzzles.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's a puzzle putting it together, and it's really a lot of fun. And I personally do each puzzle before it's okayed. And so Rick and I go back and forth on how we think the puzzle worked. And, like sometimes I'll see something like sex was right across the top of one puzzle letter. And I said, we got to kind of change that. So he changed the letters because that was the first thing I saw. So just little things in puzzles like that. Because these are all family friendly. Actually, the Dad Sudoku is has a fun story. I work with someone named Jerry Martin who's put together a concept called Sudoku as a teaching tool. And he goes in the county where I live, Nevada County, California. He goes around to the schools and talks to 2nd through 6th graders and teaches them all how to do Sudoku as a team. And then once a year, we have a tournament of all the teams from the different schools. And I sponsor the event I give away books and I serve as the MC. But last time, it was in April, we had 100 elementary school kids silent and cooperating doing Sudoku. It was an amazing behold. And I know you have kids, so I know you know how amazing that is.
Yeah, to be silently doing Sudoku, that's like a miracle in itself. At 100 at that, I can't do it with 5, so
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. So that's been kind of fun is using it as a teaching tool, and he's talking about expanding it now to the other side of learning is the seniors and creating a team Sudoku for seniors as well.
Right,
So neat.
right.
What a great
And
public service.
yeah, it's a great public service. I think it's a great distraction and gets them away from this,
Yeah.
you know. And kids need more of that. They need more encouragement. Like, hey, put down the phone because everything's going onto devices. But to actually pick up a book and take a pen to paper, there's nothing like that. You know what I mean? Because everybody, even when they do schoolwork, even when they play games, or everything is on some kind of device. And to me, I don't retain information that way. My brain doesn't work like that.
Well,
So
if I write something down, I remember it. How about you?
yeah, if I write it down, I remember it. But if I'm typing it in, I have to go and find it to remember what I wrote.
Yeah. That's because
So
they all have different kinds of learning styles, and so
right,
most people don't learn by being told. It just that's the least popular, but it's the most done.
right, and I think that's why it's important that you're bringing these books in and doing a service. Especially with you bringing it into schools and stuff like that, so that people will get encouraged to pick up a pen and get the message and do the brain work that'll keep their brains healthy.
I would have to say I don't recommend pens. I recommend
No?
pencils. The big pink eraser. I actually had a bunch of pink erasers made to give away to people because
Okay.
I mine all the time. And a good eraser is great to have in life.
I'm the worst because I'm always using a pen. And then when you mess up in pen, you gotta. um, so when I want to hear more about the process of you getting this book published and how that went for you. If you guys self-published or if you went with the publisher, how did that work?
Well, because my brother Rick has published books before, he pretty much handled all of that aspect. So we decided to go through CreateSpace, and it went fairly well because Rick did it well. He designed the cover. I did all the writing. He did all the formatting and the layout
Mm-hmm.
and took all the technical aspects. And that works fairly easily. Yes, it does. One tip I would give to writers who want to publish through CreateSpace is to buy your own ISBN and to use that rather than to use the free CreateSpace ISBN, because that makes you more acceptable to bookstores around it when you want to take it into a bookstore. So that's
Mm-hmm.
just a handy hint, lesson learned.
Yes.
And they're very expensive. I think you can get 10 of them for about $120 at, I think it's isbn.org. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely, the CreateSpace is wonderful. It's easy. And self-publishing was easy, but you know what's hard is marketing and sales.
That it is.
Fortunately, yeah,
That it
fortunately, I
is.
have a background in marketing, but I've spent a year learning how to sell and market the book. And what's really cool though is right now, most of the time, at least 4 days a week, the word search oracle Yoga for the Brain is the number one bestseller in its category. So I'm
Nice.
happy with
That's beautiful. And how did you get it to be that way?
a lot of trial and error, quite honestly. I tried a lot of different things. Of course, you always do the initial push, and anybody who's an author sells all their books to all their friends within the first month, right? For the most part. And after that, probably what happened to me happened to most other authors is you sell a ton of books the first month and you're so excited and you think everybody's going to share it or buy it for their friends or
Right.
all these other things are going to happen, and then the next month and you look and you go, oh, not so much.
Right.
So I can give you a couple of hints as far as ways to help your book, and that's one, to get editorial reviews. And one of the best places I know of that's free is Readers' Favorites. I don't know if you know about it, but they're a great website. They'll give you a free review of your book, and they have a wonderful literary award contest. The other place I really like is reader views, and they will give you a free editorial review, but you have to wait a long time for it. If you want the review to come faster, you can enter their literary award contest, and the review comes faster. They're my favorite things. The next place I really like is Goodreads, and you can post your book, and people will people will look at it, and you can become active in all kinds of groups. And you can really work with Goodreads. They have a program called giveaways, which used to be free, which I loved, but now they charge money for it. And I'm just finishing up my last set of giveaways. So if you want to win the books, you can check them on Goodreads. The next contest will start tomorrow and end September 3rd. Tomorrow is, and then you can also do click-through ads on Goodreads, which is about 50 cents a click, which is a nice thing to do too. So those are my suggestions for authors, self-published authors, independently published authors.
So then I think it might be a good time to give them where they can get their free gift since we're midway through the interview. What do you say?
Sure. So the free gift I'm giving away is because before I was writing Sudoku books, I've been a writer my whole career, as well as worked in the holistic field. So I know a lot about the brain and how to make your life better. So my free giveaway is something that's really for everyone. It's 5 easy brain boosting life hacks you can do in 5 minutes or less. And that's 5 minutes total a day. So that's the book. It's a short booklet, and it's 5 really easy things that you can do that will make your life better now. If you do them and try it, give it a try for at least a month. And then that's the giveaway, and you can get it. The website address is get5in5.com, and you write in the number 5, not write FIVE. So it's get5in5.com. So head on over there and grab your free guide.
Awesomeness. So that's get your guide. You guys can get your free gift at get5in5.com. Get5in5.com. I also listed it on the post. You got to scroll down to the bottom of the post to find it. Because it's hidden up there. And if you're just now watching on a different platform other than Facebook, then it will be on the blog post on smartmarketingforauthors.com/blog. All you have to do is scroll down and find Cristina Smith's blog to claim it. Or you'll find the link there.
Yeah, and if you look at my website, I spell my name Cristina, so you won't find it if you spell my first name any other way.
Yes. Awesomeness. So now let's talk about you and your awesome author life a bit, because you just said that you have been writing for a long time, and I didn't think to ask you as in like from a writer's perspective any questions, you know what I mean? So I was thinking the realm of the book. So tell us
writing life.
Tell us about you and how you became a writer.
Well, I've been writing since I was 10 or 11. So I remember my aunt telling me when I was about 13 that I was going to write the great American novel. And she passed before she got to see this book, but I emailed my cousin Susie after this book, and after Rick and I produced this book, and I said, your mom said that I was going to make the great American novel, and I said, well, this is really novel, but it's not fiction. So I started off by writing poetry, and then I started writing advertisements. I'm an article writer. I'm such a curious person. I love to learn, and I love people. So I've written a lot of different articles that have been published. Right now, my blog, I'm a core monthly blogger on the Wellness Universe. And I write, so that's one side of my work. The other side is I'm a monthly feature writer for the Nevada County Union newspaper in their senior living section. So, I write 2 articles a month for sure, and then blog posts and books and whatever else. Comments on the writer's life, it's not for the faint of heart. You have to be able to discipline yourself, and you have to be able to create a ritual or some kind of process in yourself so that you can make yourself write even when you don't want to, and open up to the flow of writing kind of at will and not be at the whim of your emotions. That's what I found.
Right. That's really important, I think, with anything, especially with being an author, because it's an emotional roller coaster,
Oh, it is.
the ups and downs, and then, because it goes along the same lines of being an entrepreneur, whether you're published traditionally or self-published, you are an entrepreneur at that point, because you wear so many hats. You got to market your book, you got to do X, Y, and Z for your book, you got to PR your book, so it could be, one day I'm winning, one day I'm not, and that whole roller coaster.
Delilah to help you, right? So you're somebody who could help an author, right?
Right. I do my best. Do my best. So what was an early experience where you learned that language had power?
Probably when I was 2 and somebody said no. I mean, I feel that language has power. I can't remember a time where I didn't feel that way because I've been a word person my whole life. I have become more careful choosing my words because, what they say, in the beginning was the word.
Mm-hmm.
So the word is what starts something to manifest or to be created on the physical plane. So if you say, whatever you say, I'm no good at this, then basically, if you say so, it's true. If you say, you could say instead, I'm not good at this right now, or as good as I want to be at this right now, but I want to get better. You say so, it's true. So it makes your words have a lot of power because they're a force of creation.
Right. Right. Well, your words create a thought, your thoughts create ideas, and then your ideas create your outcome, right?
Or vice versa. The thought can create the word and the outcome. That goes a lot of different ways.
It does, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Awesomeness. Um, so what does literary success look like to you?
What is literary what?
Success.
Literary success looks like being happy with how my process is going. Literary success also means learning more all the time. And ultimately, literary success means my personal growth and spiritual growth and material world growth. All my different worlds grow. And I get to increase my influence and impact in the world, helping as many people as I possibly can. And that, to me, is the most successful. It's one of the reasons that I wrote the guidebook, because I just am a natural people helper, and I love to support people in their success and in their personal evolution.
Nice. Nice. So then, my next question is, do you view writing as kind of a spiritual practice?
Yes, and yes, and it depends. It
Mm-hmm.
it is all spiritual practice, and writing is also mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual practice. And some days it's all of them. Some days it's really just a physical where I'm going to sit down and write because I said I was going to do it. Some
Mm-hmm.
days I'm feeling sad, so it's an emotional process and it helps me process my emotions. Or it's a mental process because I want to research something and learn something. Or it's a spiritual process where I sit down and say, okay, what information do you want is available for me to write about now, and just kind of sit in a meditative practice, or I get a lot of ideas while I'm taking walks. So I'll just go for a walk, and all of a sudden, boom, an idea will come in, and then I can take that idea because it's come from that perspective. It's something I would have never thought of or felt or researched, but it's something totally you. And then I write with that.
Right.
So it depends. How about with you?
For me, I don't really
Yeah.
write. I, I write notes all over everything that look like this. Scribbled mess. I'm not an author yet. I'm in the process of creating my book, which is going to be called Undiscovered Author: How to Become Visible in an Online World. But I'm still in the process of getting that up and getting that together because I wanted it to be an anthology, so I can have the littlest writing part as possible.
Well, you say that words have power, and you just started your statement with "I'm not an author," and then you continue to tell me about the book you're going to write. So, you could just say I am an author, and I'm just getting started in the process. And
Author. I'm aspiring. Yeah, it's just taken me. I've been working on this since March, and it's just taken me longer. Yeah, longer than normal. I already got the cover done and all that, but I just I keep talking negativity into it because I don't believe in myself to be an author yet. Or so.
we could talk about that offline, but all that and 5 kids too, that's huge. So
yeah.
you're doing great. Congratulations.
Yeah, we're in the process. I'm always in the process of becoming better. So what is most difficult about your artistic process in writing?
The most difficult part is that I get really out into my mental world, and
I have one of those too. Like my mental world.
and sometimes it's really good to make a quantum leap when you really have to do that. Like I've been in that really mental world because I'm building something new right now, and need to just really out there. So coming back into my body and remembering to go out and stick my feet in the dirt long enough so that all the other aspects of life they don't have to be in balance all the time, but I'm addressing them so I don't like run into doors or trip over things because I'm totally not in my body.
Right. I like that. I like how you just said that because I'm always in my own mental world or in my dark office like this. So it's hard to remember to run outside and be like, oh, the sun. You know what I mean? When you're like so entrapped in your own mind here, So I like that you said that, to run outside and put your feet in the sand and
Well, that's what what yoga for your brain can do it because it helps you be able to switch between functions between the right and the left brain. So in doing some kind of yoga for the brain, like these puzzles, they can help switch your awareness. So if you want to be in the mental cloud, the times when I'm really in the mental cloud, which is really creative for me, which is really right. If I want to come back into reality, I do a Sudoku because it flips me right into the left brain. So, and the more I do it, the more nimble my brain becomes and the more automatic it says, okay, I need to do something else. And it switches. It knows how to switch easily.
Nice. See, that's why I don't switch that fast. Like when I'm in zone, I'm in zone. And I can sit here for like a good 12 hours and be in zone and not do anything, That's hard. It's hard for it to switch,
But you can train yourself to switch more easily if you want to, and that's kind of what my platform is entertain and maintain your brain by training it.
Nice. So we are coming up on time here.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you one last question, and then I was gonna have you let everybody know how to get a hold of you, and once again reiterate where they can get their free gift. But my last question is my favorite question because I like to know where authors came from when they first started reading and getting, beginning to build their skills. And it is, what is your favorite childhood book?
Oh, my favorite childhood book. There were so many because I grew up in a reading household. So
Hmm.
got 8 years old, I asked for a bike for my birthday, and my mom told me I didn't need one. I was distraught, so I went upstairs and I dove, after I finished sobbing, I dove into my book of fairy tales, and the library, from there on out, the library became my magic carpet, so I didn't need a bike.
Nice.
So I've read so many books. I am an avid reader. Favorite childhood book. What pops into my head is I've read Island. This is probably about 6 or 8. I read Island of the Blue Dolphins a bunch of times. I love The Wizard of Oz, of course, and reading the book. And so many more. My parents read to me, and I was an early reader. I have to tell you what one of my number one favorite child books is Go Dog Go. Because not only did I learn to read with that book, I help my children learn to read with that book. And when I've been with other people's kids, like, I'll sit and be with them for a while, I've taught a number of other kids that would be grandchildren age to read with Go Dog Go. So that ranks right up there as a favorite book.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Those are all really good classics, the Island of the Blue Dolphin and the other one you said.
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz. I never read that book, but I've seen the movie. I've seen quite a few times, different renditions of it. I wonder. I bet the book was way better.
Oh yeah, and there were a ton of sequels too.
Oh really? Of the book?
Uh-huh.
No way.
Yeah. Check it out.
Okay. I gotta go check it out now. So that's awesome though. Because everybody has such a different reading background from childhood to adult and to coming into being an author and or becoming an author, and those are like children's books influence where you kind of are at now with sometimes, you know what I mean, or for different people.
Yeah.
So to know like what they were interested in when they were children to what they're doing now and how it influenced them, that it's really interesting for me to know.
You know what's cool too is because I just watched the movie last night. A Wrinkle in Time series is awesome.
Oh yeah, the one with Oprah.
Yeah, that one with Oprah. But the book is a whole series, and it's so wonderful. It's so empowering. So I recommend that
Right.
for readers.
Nice. A Wrinkle in Time, and that was a book series before it became a movie, right?
Oh yeah, well I read that probably when it's an older book. I read that when I was probably somewhere between 8 and 12. So
you never know. You know what I think is most interesting is like, remember The Great Gatsby? Like all these, like they were written like forever ago, right? So just a little encouragement for authors, right? I know everybody, gives birth to these babies within 5 years, right? They sit there and they put so much love and heart and this and that, and then they go to put them in the market. They don't sell as they're expected, and it's so much ups and downs, like we were talking about earlier. But you never know what that book will live on past you to do. For example, The Great Gatsby started. They gave it to soldiers out in the field. That's how it got popular, because they gave it to soldiers out in the field so that they can come about. And it wasn't in the 20s or 40s. It was like later on while they were in the field. They gave it to the soldiers to read. And that's how that book became popular to where it is today. And A Wrinkle in Time, like you just said, it was probably written a whole long time ago, but then somebody, came along, picked it up again. It's like, this needs to be a movie, right?
Right. Well,
you never know.
And I've read a lot of authors. Some of my favorite books were at the time really kind of futuristic or with the kind of messages that we need right now, and they're now becoming popular in their time. It's like their time has come for a whole new generation. I mean, I totally love that Harry Potter got people reading again. I just think that's so fabulous because reading was on the decline when Harry Potter came out, and it turned on so many people to reading again.
Yeah. I think I read all of those thick books. I was
Yeah,
enjoying them too. I think everybody enjoyed the Harry Potter series. I have 5 kids. I have 5 kids. Harry Potter. Sorry, J.K. Rowling, if you're ever watching one this live. I did not mean to do that.
probably calls it that too.
But they were excellent books. Excellent. But it just goes to show you never know what's going to happen in this life. It might not happen in this lifetime, but it might happen down the road. You know what I mean? So keep your head up and keep writing.
And you never know how and when your book is going to touch someone. It may be right now. It may be, right after they finish reading it, or maybe 2 years later when they go, oh, wow, I remember that. Or a scene from your fiction book pops up into their head if it's a romance right before their wedding, and they go, oh man, that was so cool. That helped me, give me the courage to go on my quest for my soulmate. I mean, it happens. If you put your heart, your best work, your heart and your soul into your book, that goes into the book from an energy perspective. It's seeded into your book. And so that seed plants into everyone who reads it. And like you said, whether it's this life or later or whenever, it's ready. If it finds, when it finds fertile soil, and it could be a time or a place thing, it will grow up and start to blossom.
I love that. I love that anthology. Not anthology. Where are my words today? I am just all over trying to sound smart. Analogy. I like that analogy. Anyway, with that being said, you want to let everybody know how to get a hold of you or where they can connect with you?
Absolutely. Well, Delilah's put the links for my books below, and she's put the link for where to get the freebie. But let me just tell you, you can find my books. Find them on Good. If you're on Goodreads, connect with me. If you're on Facebook, connect with me. I'm highly connectable. You can visit my website, which is CristinaSmith.com, and to get the freebie, which is 5 easy brain boosting life hacks you can do in less than 5 minutes total per day. The website is get5in5.com, and it's, don't spell out the 5, put the number 5 in. Get5in5.com.
Beautiful. Awesomeness. Well, Cristina, I thank you so much for coming on. And I thank everybody who has watched this live stream. And if you are just now catching it and it's at the end, make sure you hashtag replay for us so that we know that you have watched it. And also make sure to share the video. If you guys have questions or comments, make sure you leave the comments. I do monitor my comments after the lives, and usually the authors are very good about doing that as well. And, they're extremely excited when they see the comments on the video. So hashtag support your authors. And I'm also going to say, leave a review. If you have a book and you have a good stack of them, start going through them and make sure you leave your authors a review, especially if you enjoyed them. Because it's the best, compliment that you can ever give anybody is a review, especially on Amazon.
Absolutely. Authors just pine for your good reviews, and it can be 10 words or less. But just give a glowing. If you love the book, give a glowing review. Click the stars and make it 10 words or less. Make it easy on yourself. But that's the best gift you could give a book that you love.
There you go. Awesomeness. All right. Well, once again, thank you, Cristina. Thanks to everybody. We are signing out.
Thank you, Delilah. Everybody.